Absolute pleasure to be here, I must say.
This
feels quite surreal, quite overwhelming. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it does. Firstly, I want to say both of your careers, truly inspirational.
Thank you.
I told my missus that I'm doing this today and still can't believe it.
How can I just let you walk away? You have been extremely understanding to me, dealing with my personal struggles.
The Graviton, let's do it. He's the best.
Emily, I know you've had roles that have been based on a true story, but I know with yourself, Dwayne, this is quite like new territory for you. What made you look at Mark's story and say, do you know what? Yeah, that story's a bit of me.
Well, I connected with Mark's story. I feel like I don't know what it's like to be the greatest fighter on the planet. I think nobody does unless you're one of one, like Mark Kerr, unless you're the greatest, like he was. But I can relate to, just like you can relate to, is Emily and everybody out there. They can relate to pressure.
Yes.
And what that's like, and the pressure to deliver your job, school, relationship, get better, whatever it is. And we also relate to failure. And how we deal with that failure. So those are the elements, I think, that attracted me to the story.
And what made you want to play Dawn's story?
I mean, I was so taken with the complexity of that relationship, and to me, I was very used to reading relationships in scripts that were easy to identify, sort of label as either supportive or either this. And I think someone can be, it's true to life, they can be your greatest love and they can also be your tender spot. They can be your complete undoing. Kind of within an hour.
True,
it can all happen. It can kick off within an hour in that way. And so I think I knew that Benny would create an environment and a film that would allow for that exploration of what a relationship of those complexities looked like. So that was a challenge for me, and I just thought she was fabulous. And as sort of fierce as she was fragile.
Even when I watched the movie itself, the minute details that you guys got on point in terms of the arguing scenes and all that stuff, which leads into my next question. How did you guys create that sort of intense environment? Because there was a point in time when I was watching it, right? And you guys were arguing in the kitchen. You must have thrown the plate on the floor. I'm sure. And then he punched the door. And I was quite whoa, I was quite taken back.
But on the inside, you don't feel it. You're pinned against the wall.
When I stand here taking every breath.
But how did you guys build that sort of intense, sort of relationship?
I mean, it was often like a storm was brewing. You feel the scenes approaching. We weren't, and we're great friends, but we didn't really speak to each other much before those scenes. And it's hard to explain where you go and how you go there. We knew these people inside out that we were playing at this point, and we had also had the real people to absorb a lot from. And so you understand all the nuances that led to these very hazardous eruptions that they'd have in their house. But I don't know, I think it's I find it it's an eerie thing. Everyone's quiet on set. I find it very moving, actually.
So you guys create the atmosphere.
The crew does as well.
The crew does, because they're in it.
Everyone knows what you're going to have to do.
And they know, they've read the script, so they know what's getting ready to kick off.
Because if I was you, I would have been quite intimidated. Obviously, I'm not an actor in it, but if he's squaring up to me, I would have been yo, do you know what I mean?
Sure. But he's the gentlest of gentle people, in real life. So I know nothing's happening that would be dangerous. And she did step to him.
That's crazy.
I remember that actually. I remember that.
But yes, if you're asking, was my heart racing? Yes.
Yeah. Because I would have said to the director, okay, cut, sorry, my fear.
No, racing, but you use that kind of jet fuels everything. It's okay to be really adrenalized in those scenes.
How did you find being a sort of the BFG, big friendly giant in real life, and then on set it's kind of the polar opposite? How was it for you?
It was wild, man, to go to those places. And also, when things kick off, it's one thing if you're fighting in the ring or in the cage. It's what Mark did with his eyes closed. And he did it great. But it's another thing when you're fighting outside and you're fighting at home behind closed doors, because everyone goes through their shit. All couples have that dark side where they deal with those demons. It didn't feel good. That's kind of stuff that just didn't feel good to my heart, because we are so close, but to say the things that I was saying to her and to give off this energy, and I'm throwing, beers against the wall and putting my arm through doors, and, in situations like that, we all know what happens if you continue to go down that road. And it's not, it's ugly for, with that kind of abuse. I'm not saying that happened. It's very close. And that kind of energy given to somebody who you just love and respect so much is, That's hard, man.
Because I just feel like, you know, when you've observed that energy growing up, you know, you kind of make it your number one ambition to kind of do
the opposite.
The opposite,
right.
exactly. Yeah. You either learn from it or you allow it to be your environment. Do you know what I mean?
That's right.
Yes, man.
I promise that I'm gonna make this up to you.
To see Mark back out there is truly remarkable.
I just need you to let me in.
You guys obviously displayed love, addiction within the story that you guys have. Well, obviously it's based on a true story. Would you hope for the audience that are watching it? What do you want them to take from this movie?
I think really, and what's been on display even when we talk about the movie, the variety of questions, the variety of things that people have like accessed within themselves when they watch it. No one understands what it's like to be UFC champ.
Yeah.
But we know struggle, we know pain, you know the brokenness in yourself, you see it in others, people that you love. And so I think some movies don't have to be an escape, they can be a mirror, not a confrontation, just an invitation, you know. And I think that that's been beautiful about this film, that yes, it's set to the backdrop of machismo 90s, the baddest dudes on earth. But really, I think it explores vulnerability in a way that is rocking people, and that is the best.
And then yourself?
I feel like, you know, this is a movie about two people trying to find grace in their life. And this idea that, you know, we all want to win in life. Nobody wants to lose, but losing is a part of life. And in this case, you know, this guy, at the end, like, he loses.
Yeah.
He loses everything. ODs twice. He's lucky to be alive. Has a beautiful son who is now his ex-wife, but they're co-parenting. And the takeaway, one of them, is you can lose at life, but it's not the end. Life goes on.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. I agree. Cool, man.
Thank
you so much. I've taken so much
much.
from this conversation.
Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it, man. Take
Thank
care.
you. How's that feel?
Feels great.
Do you want some more?
Yes, you can stretch me more, yes.
Too much?
Never.